Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Rewind That. It's your girl Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Today we are going to be talking about The Chi Season 7, episode number 11, called Ready or Not. OMG, guys. If you guys read the description, when I do have my lives set up, sometimes I have a little something in the description, kind of indicating a little bit of how I feel or felt about the episode. So, you would know that this episode had me cracking the freak up. Hey B, yes, finally caught alive. So happy you're here. Thank you. I missed you guys too. Yeah, so I finally watched the episode last night. Juan Roman is here. Hi, I saw Rashonda Greer in the building. Everybody come in to LSW. Hey. So guys, we're gonna be all over the place, okay? I'm not going to be doing like the recaps like I normally do where it's um scene by scene, okay? All over the freaking place. I was going over the episode just a little bit before I came on, and the last thing that I saw was Tiff and Nuck. I think she was at his place and she's like, "Oh, I would have taken you to be more flashy, this and that." Girl, what the heck are you doing at his house? Please go sit your hot tail down. Okay. At this point, it's giving hot tail, not thirsty. It's giving hot tail. Like, stop. I already understand. I've said this already. Nuck is fine, okay? Not fine. Fine. I know this. We know this. But sometimes fine is not enough, okay? Like, it's not enough. But I was going to say something, but that's not really true. I was going to say, but Tiff is not a stranger to dealing with men that are like in the streets, right? But that's not true. You know what I mean? Because Rob wasn't in the streets. I really didn't understand what Rob was doing. Okay. Like, I didn't really understand him. He was freaking, like, it seemed like he was someone that was a mystery to me when we first met him, and I didn't think he could be trusted and stuff like that. And then he turned out to be okay. It seemed like he was kind of a straight, but he wasn't really, right? Because he was into, I guess, selling drugs, but then it was legal. So don't even get me started. I don't want to go down that freaking rabbit hole, okay? Um but Nuck is just she's barking up the wrong tree, like I said I think last week, because of the fact that he is the one who deleted her baby father. She had the right mind at first when she said, "Oh, I'm I just need to take it slow. I'm a little uncomfortable of, moving forward with anybody right now until I find out who deleted Rob." She had the right mind at first. And sometimes, that happens with us, right? Sometimes we have the right mind at first and then we continue to mess on with, I don't want to say mess on, we continue to mess with somebody and then we go against our own, like, what's the I don't want to say standards, but sometimes you go against your standards or your own rules and things like that, or the first thought that you had that was the right thought, you go against that because you're continuing to communicate with the person. If you stop communicating with that person after you made that decision, it wouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So anybody could fall into this kind of situation that Tiff is in, but I'm gonna need her to pull back. Like when she was, getting a little closer with Trig, I felt like that was a lot better. You already had, what's her name? The mom, Alicia, giving her blessing. Like, I don't mind you entertaining Trig, but Nuck, that's a no-no. You know what I'm saying? And look, it could be a part of her woman's intuition. Something is telling me, I don't know what it is, but something is telling me that I don't want you messing with Nuck. Period. What's up, Art Love? How is it going? Let me see. Is this live? Remember, I just ate my How are you? And Timothy Lewis. I thought about you when that scene happened. I was waiting for oh, thank you so much. LSW says I'm confused with Tiff because she mentioned that Alicia was what, and she turned away from him getting out of the car. Right. I think we're talking about like the same scene, like that first time, like a few episodes, not episodes, yeah, a few episodes ago, when she was like, "Yeah, I don't want to deal with you because I don't know who deleted my man. You know what I mean? I don't know. Um, I don't know. Thank you, Art Love. Listen, guys, I'm trying so hard to get back into the groove of things. I really, really am. You know, I really am. So that was the last thing that I saw with that. Like, girl, what are you doing in his house? You know what I'm saying? Go sit your freaking behind down. And listen, the way the girls dress these days when they're pregnant, I don't get it. When I was pregnant, I used to wear clothes that were loose. Nowadays, they got their stomach literally bare out, right? It looks stupid to me. I'm sorry, no offense. You know, I guess that's the newer generation stuff, but that's not me. Like I literally got maternity jeans, maternity clothes. Like I shopped at Motherhood. Remember the Motherhood store, guys? I don't even know if they still had that store, but I shopped at freaking Motherhood if I didn't get some extra large stuff, you know? But like I just don't get it. I don't understand the whole thing of walking around with really, really skin tight clothes. Like, whatever. What's up, Demarcus? Okay, guys, so let's move on, right? We're gonna talk a little. I think we might talk a little more about Nuck and Tiff, but then again, I don't think so. So let's move on to Dom and Jamal. And I can't wait to tell you guys what had me cracking up about this freaking episode. I'm not gonna tell you yet, but I will. Okay, trust. So Dom and Jamal, guys, they have decided not to have kids. I don't like this decision because I know that I feel like Jamal has heavily compromised to satisfy Dom. This right here, a lot of us know, people that have done life, we know that this later on causes resentment, right? From one person to another. Whoever they made this huge compromise for. This is a huge like this type of decision is not light, right? And for someone to want children and then decide not to have children because of their spouse, that's going to turn into resentment at some point. Yes, Our Love, they got married way too soon. Demarcus, I will get to your super chat in a minute. Thank you so much. I just want to finish this point. So yeah, they decided not to have kids. Okay, but they have new problems now, right? And this is the thing. I was saying that I don't think there's anything wrong with getting married. Like there are okay. Let me back it up. Sometimes getting married quickly works out for some people. Like I've heard so many stories. So many stories, right? So I'm not against it, but normally it's not ideal for people to get married kind of as soon as they meet each other. You know what I mean? A lot of times it could, you could spend so much time with somebody and grow to love, not really grow to love them, but love them in a very short period of time, fall in love, this and that. You guys spend so much time with each other that you really are transparent. You get to know each other really, really soon. You lay things out on the line, all that stuff. Hey, Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. So it works. But for Dom and freaking Jamal, they clearly got married too freaking soon. Art Love says, met on Monday, married on Saturday. Like they really did. They got married too soon. It seems like they got married without having like conversations, which is weird to me. Like y'all didn't have like very important conversations, which I've already said before. So now here's the thing, right? She wants her space now, guys. Um, I don't know. For somebody that just got married and not just got married, but you just got into this relationship and you're already asking for space, that's kind of like a red flag because, um, first of all, why did you get married? You know what I mean? Why'd you get married? If you're so in love with your space, and she seems so in love with herself. I don't think there's anything wrong with loving yourself as a woman or a man. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. But the way she comes off, her self-love is like almost idol worship. You know what I'm saying? Like she loves herself too much. Like it's to the point where it's like it's selfish. Like it's all about me. later for you and this and that. And then they try to, I think the writers try to paint her as like a strong woman, but it's doing too much. Like there's a difference between being a strong woman and freaking having some sense and wisdom, you know. I feel like she lacks that. She lacks sense and wisdom. She's coming off very self-centered, you know what I'm saying? And she just gives me someone that doesn't need to be in a relationship. I more so understand her as a person who was hoeing rather than somebody being a wife. You know what I'm saying? Like the way her character is designed, it seems like she's more befitting to be for the streets. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm saying that is the way they're writing her character. If they're trying to, you know, paint a different picture about this woman, they're failing, in my opinion. She's not wifey material. She's too selfish for it. She's too self-centered. Oh, I love my body. I don't want to mess up my body to have no kids. I love myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just, eh, eh, and I feel like she needs to have therapy on her own because there's something about this woman that makes her feel like she needs sex. So now the problem is that not only does she want alone time and she needs her space, Jamal also caught her playing with herself. Okay, so she had a toy. And child, I don't know. What's up, Marlon Easton? I don't know. I she she's playing with herself now. And Jamal is feeling like, well, what the heck do you need me for? You don't want to give me kids. You over here playing with yourself. Like, what else? What else? And here's another thing, guys. She doesn't want joint bank accounts. Okay? Guys, I don't have an issue with that part. Everything else I have an issue when it comes to Dom. And like I said, I think she needs to have her own therapy because she needs to figure out why she needs to, you know, flaunt her body around and why she needs to be fulfilled when it comes to sex. There's something going on with her that's deeper than what she's saying. And you know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's get back to this whole thing with the bank account. I don't think there's anything wrong with separate bank accounts when you're married. I agree with Jamal where he's talking about being the head and all that stuff. He's coming from a biblical standpoint, which y'all know I agree with as a Christian woman. I totally agree with that, right? But because of my own experiences, I think that um you have to really know who you're dealing with in your marriage when it comes to joint bank accounts. I've tried that and it failed because I was trying to save money and had to find out that money was being taken out of the savings without even saying anything to me. And that right there, that's already creating an issue with trust. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Dom should try it first, and then if it doesn't work, then you can separate your bank. Because that's what I did. I tried it first because I think that that's something that you should do. I tried it first. It didn't work. And I said, yeah, separate because I'm not going to be able to do a lot. We're going to be in debt messing around like this. Okay. And that shit, it is what it is sometimes. Okay. So I'm pretty much done with Dom and Stephen Harris. What's up? I'm done with Dom and what's that freaking guy's name? Jamal. Like I feel sorry for Jamal. I'm not gonna lie. Now he don't went to Pastor Zeke to telling Zeke about this. I don't agree with this at all. Okay, I would hate for my husband to go to the pastor. I wouldn't say our pastor because they're unequally yoked in this situation. I don't think she's a Christian or nothing like that. I don't think she follows the Lord or nothing. So it's pretty much his pastor, but it's still a bit too much going to the pastor to say, hey, my wife, I found her with a toy. Pastor Zeke surprised the crap out of Jamal when he said, well, did you join her? Freaky Zeke. Listen, Jamal said, oh, I wasn't expecting you to say that. Did you not understand that this is Freaky Zeke? Did you not understand that? Come on now. His wife is Tatiana. He was dealing with it. He was cheating on her with a freaking snow bunny. This man is scandalicious, but he's trying to change, and I appreciate that. But I wasn't mad at the advice because he's like, join her next time. You know what I'm saying? Because what y'all do in y'all bedroom, especially and y'all married, you could do what you want to do. It's not like you're sinning. So I appreciated that. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see. I don't really care about Dom and Jamal. And you know why I don't care? It's because I don't like Dom. Like, she's just annoying. She's annoying. And I feel like the therapist, she does a good job at like mediating, you know what I'm saying, and trying to see both points. But I feel like the only time she understands anything is if the therapist brings it to her attention, you know, and maybe that's what she needs, and that's fine. And listen, it's good for them. They got married too soon, but you know what? They're making it work, which is good for them. So they're here now and they're supposed to make it work. And that's just the bottom line, because they done made a covenant before God. Okay, so let's move on. Let me get to Demarcus super chat. Thank you so much, Demarcus. I appreciate you. Why didn't Alicia check the ring camera to see that Bakari dropped off Rob's body at Alicia's home? That is a serious scratch in my head moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's got all this money. She's bragging to Candace about how rich she is, even though she used the name Terry. We'll talk about that. But come on, let's solve the issue right here now. You don't have a camera, a ring bell, or whatever the heck the ring cameras, you know them things, ring bell, ring camera, whatever the heck they called. I don't got one, so but yeah, problem solved. Like, come on now. And honestly, it would have been really stupid of Nuck to drop Rob off if there was a camera in front of the house, but there should be cameras in front of the house. You know what I mean? Especially for somebody like Alicia. So thank you, Demarcus. Let's move on to Freaky Zeke. I want to stop calling him that because he's changing. But listen, like he said, ain't nothing wrong with being a freak in the married sheets, okay? So it's okay. Pastor Freaky Zeke. What's up, OT Lungs? How are you doing? So sorry. So he is what is he doing? Oh, he wants Charles to get married, right? Because Charles wants to be his assistant pastor. And he's like, it's not really a good look for a pastor to be single. I don't know where they get that from, because plenty of times in the Bible it tells you that there's nothing wrong with being single. You know what I'm saying? Marriage is a great thing. However, singleness is also great because you get to focus more on God, right? In ministry. So I really don't understand why pastors always make it seem like you have to have a wife, right? Like you have to get married. Listen, but however, it also does talk about if you can't control that little monster in your pants, then you should get married, right? So that you don't fall into sin. It does say that. So, because Pastor Charles cannot control himself and he want to knock on the doors of all of these ladies and all of that stuff and trying to charm them out their pants, yes, he needs to get married, okay? He tells Pastor Zeke, you can't force me to get married and all that stuff, you know. Pastor Zeke is saying, I'm not forcing you, but I'm telling you to slow down. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it is time to slow down, my brother, especially if you want to be my number two and you see that I'm trying to turn over a new leaf and I'm starting from the bottom and we coming fresh out of a scandal. I'm gonna need you to clean it up. So I don't think Pastor Zeke is asking anything wrong of him in that respect. Okay, in that aspect. All right. Art Love says Dom. Okay. Dom, annoying Markeisha, annoying Keisha from Power, annoying. Yeah, totally. Like that, she's always annoying. Okay. How is Bakari Nuck right hand man's and bro? That's what we talked about last week, OT. I talked about that last week. I was like, I'm reading your other comment, OT. You said, pray for me, Miss K. You a sinner. Listen, we all need prayer, okay? We all need forgiveness for our sins. I definitely gonna keep you in my prayer. Guys, I talked about this last week about Bakari always being seemingly being broke, because like that was my thing like with last week. Why do you care about Alicia cutting off your scholarship, you know, when you getting money? It doesn't make sense. Like this show creates too many scratching my head moments. So yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Like this guy, I'm like, is he down bad for real? Like it don't make sense. You know what I mean? Like whatever. Let's see what else, guys. So we have Hannibal. I'm just trying to make sure that I have everything. Oh, let's go to Pastor Zeke again. He goes on Papa's pulpit, and I thought this was a good idea, right? Because he gets to clear the air. My thing, and I thought he handled it well. How do you guys think he handled it? Do you guys think that he handled this interview well? Do you think that Papa was asking too many intrusive questions, or were they intrusive at all? You know what I'm saying? Because he is a public figure. So many things has happened in the public, right? Like he's just coming out of a scandal. Everybody knows he lost his church. Everybody knows he was married to Tatiana and he was messing with a snow bunny. Like I don't feel like it was crazy. The only reason why I'm saying anything about it is because Carolyn was trying to get at him like, why would you embarrass me and Kenya like that? I'm like, what are you talking about? Embarrassed how? You know, so here's my thing. I'm going to try to look at it from the Pastor Zeke standpoint, and I'm going to look at it from Carolyn's standpoint, okay? Pastor Zeke is a public figure, so you already know how I feel about that. He's trying to clear the air. He needs to gain the trust of, this is not really his congregation, guys. A lot of people, it seems like a lot of people left his church because of the scandal. So now, if he has anybody that has followed him from his church over to Pastor Jackson's church, it's probably a very, very small amount, right? So now what he has to do is he has to win over Pastor Jackson's flock, right? So Zeke, I'm sorry, not Zeke, Papa, he gave him a very good opportunity, right, to clear the air and to lay everything out. It was a moment of transparency, and I think that it was handled great. I thought that it was great PR, right? Put it that way. And he needed to do this so that he can gain the trust of his new congregation, which is Pastor Jackson's old flock. So he has to do that, right? As a public figure. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that you have to give up, especially when you become a public figure. Like there is something that has to die. A part of you that has to die is your private life, unfortunately, right? That's a huge sacrifice that you're going to be giving up. Now, when it comes to Carolyn, I get what she's saying. She's saying she's a private person, why did you have to say this and that? And my thing is though, look, I understand you're a private person. You don't want your business on Front Street, but he didn't put your business on Front Street. All he said was, we are getting reacquainted. He didn't say, oh, me and my wife, my first wife, we broke up because she cheated on me, this and that. No. Like, he just said, Papa asked the question, oh, we heard that you're getting reconciling with your ex-wife, Carolyn. He said, I won't say reconcile, I'll say getting reacquainted. That was it. That wasn't a lot. You know what I'm saying? Give the people a tiny bit, okay? Now, for Carolyn to say it was embarrassing, I don't see that. I really don't. Because my thing is, if you're going to give this man a chance, people are going to see eventually that y'all are together. So what's so embarrassing? It's either you're with me or you're not. It's either you're going to try or you're not going to try. You know what I'm saying? So that was a bit much for me. Like I think he even handled the confrontation, not the confrontation, but her even like complaining about it. I think he even handled it well, because I feel like, to me, I would have been out the door like, all right, I could, girl, I can't even win over here. Like, you complaining about that, and all I said was we getting reacquainted. What the heck did I really say? You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you have to like bite your tongue, especially when you're trying to change and you're trying to prove to somebody else that you have changed. You can't operate the same. You can't operate the way you used to, or you can't respond the way you want to respond. You know what I mean? So he handled that well. But I feel like if she's gonna try to go down this road again with Zeke, um she needs to understand that there is a sacrifice that she's going to have to make, which is some of your life, that life that you want to be so private, it's not going to be so private. That's it. It's not going to be so private. It's not to say that she got to really be on Front Street like that. She doesn't, but some of the things that you're going to want to be private is not going to be private, girl. I'm sorry. So it's you in or you out. That's my thing. You're in or you're out. Now, what's her name also had an issue about it. What is her name? His daughter, Kenya, she had an issue about it. I feel like he said more about Kenya than Carolyn. So Carolyn over there trying to make it about her daggone self. Like, why'd you have to embarrass us? If anything, she should have probably said something about her daughter. Like, you had to say those things. But it's like, he really, like, he really left a lot out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was nosy, like, sometimes I do be wanting some tea, but I don't really go searching for it. But if I was listening and I was somebody that wanted some tea out of that interview, I would have walked away unsatisfied, because I'd have been like, wait, what happened between you and your daughter? She was looking for this and that. Like, he didn't even go into like a whole bunch of details. It was just like very, you know, it was very broad. So, like I said, I feel like he handled it well. So, that whole thing was just so stupid to me. Let me see what you guys are talking about. That was dumb as heck. Sometimes this freaking computer, I swear, I'm gonna have to get me an external mouse because it's annoying. Oh, OT said, I'm not trying to stop people from being flashy so he can keep at the money. He has to change his perception. Papa did great. His ex-wife should already know the right. Like, so why are you complaining to me? Because you over here making it seem like you want to get back together, but you doing the most right now, like getting on my nerves and stuff. OT said she complains for nothing, like Keisha. The Marcus said Carolyn is nagging like how Nina used to be. I hope not. I hope they don't do that, because that's just dumb. So Carolyn was Zeke's first wife and Tatiana his second wife. Just asking. Yeah. Oh, Tatiana. So, yeah, and if anybody should have really been embarrassed, or I don't think anybody really should have been embarrassed, because I was gonna say Tatiana could have been, but she been all over the daggone internet. Everybody already know how she is. And like he even said, her sins and her story is not my story to tell, when he was talking about Tatiana. So listen, I'm here for the new Pastor Zeke, guys. I think he's doing he's doing a good job. Oh my gosh, y'all talking about BMF, said BMF is nasty work. I haven't been watching, guys, so yeah. I said that I would binge watch and then maybe do like a I don't know, like a season finale thing. Whatever. Okay, guys, so now I have a question. We are at the round table that Reg held, right? Why the heck was Hannibal's wife Angie at the round table, at Reg's round table? He's calling everybody together, talking about, oh, there's a rat and all of that stuff. And he points a blicky in her face. I'm sorry, but if I'm Hannibal, Reggie is done. My hand was just shaking just now. Reggie is gone, y'all. You not about to point, and I'm not even a man. You are not about to point a gun in my wife's face and think everything is okay. This guy done told Damien, was it in the last week's episode? When they did the block party. He told Damien, he said, if you steal from me, I'll delete you, right? And Damien said, you never struck me as a killer type. You know what I'm saying? And he said, I got shooters. Okay, activate. Activate them shooters, since that's what you said you have. And if that's really what you are about, then it's time to get it done. That man should not point a gun in your wife's face and get away with it. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Imagine if Zuri is Angie's sister. Yes, we are going to talk about that in a minute. So where am I at, guys? Yeah, so that was my thing. I didn't understand why she was there in the first place. Because she wasn't there when Reggie mentioned the heist, right? In the last week's episode. Call everybody that was there during that time. Why would you call Angie? She wasn't there. All of those people that was at the table, and even the two dudes, OT is saying, how did them ninjas get out, right? Even those two guys, like, they weren't even there. But for some reason, they knew they were the ones that I guess Reggie sent them. That's another scratch in my head moment, because here it is. I'm thinking that Reggie put this whole plan into play, right? Where it's like, I'm gonna act like um I'm gonna rob this place, right? So the cops can show up and I can sniff out a rat. It just, oh my gosh, man. I, this is when I start getting pissed off, because it just, at this point, right, last week, I was thinking that Reggie was being smart. And thank you, DeMarcus, for that $2 super chat. I was thinking that Reggie was being smart, trying to sniff out the rat. Now, come to find out with this episode, he already had two dudes on the job and wasn't expecting no cops to show up. But when they did, now the question is, oh, there's a rat. I smell a rat. Why would you, first of all, so now it's showing that Reggie is not smart, guys. Okay? Why would you even talk about this in front of all these people? And then on top of that, you don't even have the guys that you plan to carry out the heist. You don't even have them at the table the first time you talk about it. Like, I just don't be understanding what they be doing in that freaking writer's room, y'all. And I don't like to talk about it, I try to be respectful, but I don't know what they're doing. It don't make sense. Okay. OT, it don't make sense to me. Like, I already told y'all, when shows stop making sense to me, I don't really bother with the theories that much anymore. I'll just probably throw out something that I think, but I'm not about to make a theory video. Like, I can't. For what? Why am I thinking? Because it's making me look dumb. The heck out of here. Art Love says, I think Reg knows it's Hannibal. Let me ask you men something, right? Even the ones that are not married. After Reg points a gun in your wife's face. Now, let's say this is your wife. Let's say if you're not married, this is wifey. Y'all been together for 5 to 10 years. Is he getting away with this? I need to know. Because this guy talking about he got shooters. Okay. And here's another scratch in my head moment that I never talked about. When Reg said that he needed a shooter, right? Which is that female with the dreads. The way that she proved to him that she was a shooter was through a freaking video game? So you mean to tell me that if I purchase one of these games and I'm sitting here and I'm learning how to shoot, like my aim is on point through this video game, I'm automatically considered a shooter in real life? Really? Because if y'all remember that scene, she over there playing the video game, shooting and plucking whoever off in the video game. And what's his name? What is his name? Jackie Long. What's his character's name again, guys? He over there talking about some dad going, I told you. Like, basically, I told you she was official. And Reg over there talking about, yeah. What, guys? A video game proves. Keith, thank you, Marlon, because I've been knowing his name this whole time and now I don't know it. That's how you prove that you're a shooter? I mean, of all the things, like, it's becoming comical. All right. I think I'm done. Oh yeah, OT was asking a question saying how did those two guys get out? Right. Like the answer that they gave, because Reg wanted to know the same thing. Why are y'all out? Oh, they said they wasn't looking for us. But you still was robbing the place. You still was committing a crime. Could you imagine if they would have shot somebody down and they were looking for Reg to be the one that deleted somebody or shot the person, but they like, nah, it ain't you. Go ahead. What? So now you get to go away? You get to get away because we wasn't looking for you? I don't know what to do about this. I wasn't trying to come on here and flip out. I am trying to breathe. I really am, because I can't, I just can't, guys. I just freaking can't. Oh, Jesus. I was like, what the F? You could just ask me to be your shooter, right? You could ask me. At this point, yeah, I can shoot. Let me show you through this video game. Like, what are we doing? So just because I'm good in Black Ops, and I don't even know what the heck she was playing, by the way. Just because I'm good in Black Ops, that means I'm a shooter, right? And now they over here letting people go after they robbed a jewelry store, got caught red freaking handed, and they let them go. And then normally on the streets, right? Because I know somebody that when he was let go about, whatever situation he was involved in, dudes caught up with him and they removed him. Okay, they deleted him. Okay, and this was a family friend of mine. So normally it's a red flag on the street when someone is called in or arrested and then they're let go. They're automatically looking at you like you're a snitch and you are in danger. You now have a target on your back. So it's either you gonna let me go and put me in some type of protective custody, or just leave me up in here or something for now. Because this is not gonna end well. Normally that's how it goes. Why those dudes are still walking and breathing? Reg is over here talking about somebody snitching, and when I find out, I'm gonna delete y'all. All right. Demarcus said Toussaint should have used stick to snitch on Reg. I'm just not understand. Like, Toussaint is getting on my nerves. She's becoming super messy. And I said this last week. She doesn't care about anybody else's life at this point. Right? And she's just operating in a very, like, it's all over the place. And at some point it's like the way she's at the rate that she's going to get a few people killed. A few people. And then on top of that, she's not even going to get her son out. Like, it's not even going to bring the results that she wants, because she is not playing this right at all. Like Reg is telling her, I'm sorry, not Reg, Nuck, you are the one that's slipping. You're the one that you're following Reg too closely. Like, you're not being inconspicuous at all. Like, I see you. Freaking idiot. And now she done took a picture of Candace, so now she done sicked Alicia on her, and Alicia goes up in the store like, oh, I can make you rich, this and that. Like, that whole thing was stupid. And for what's her name to be so gullible about it, Candace, like, this woman just gonna come in, she didn't even purchase anything, she wasn't even smooth about it. Like, it was just dumb. So we're going to talk about that later too. What's up, Blaze? Peace and blessings, Miss K, and everyone in the house. Hope everything is going smooth today. Listen, if Reg pulled a strap on my wifey/wife, there's only one way I'm addressing that. Right, dirt nap. 100%. Thank you. Because that right there should have been a no-go. Like, after that, like, Hannibal is just standing up talking about some Reg chill. No, ultimate disrespect. And I'm supposed to be your boy, your friend, right? But at this point, Reggie doesn't know who did what to him, so he's looking at everybody like, I can't trust you, nobody's my freaking friend, you know what I mean? But No, he gotta go. Okay, he has to go. I hope I didn't miss anybody's comments. Don't forget about Reg pressing all of the crew at the table. That was definitely inspired by Nito Brown. Okay, super corny. Right. Oh my gosh. Okay, so since we want to talk about super corny, guys, this is what had me cracking up because I didn't want to get ahead of myself. I didn't want to talk about it prematurely. But since we're on this, we are going to talk. Okay. All right. Let me say this first. Assessing someone's shooting skills via video game is 100% comedy gold. 100%. Remember, in The Wire, Marlo and his crew took up target practice in the woods to showcase and sharpen their aim. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Okay? What are we doing? All right. So I talked about that. Why was Angie at the round table? Totally don't understand that. Candace meets Alicia, aka Terry. She calls herself Terry. She gives her a card. Clearly the card must be fake. She's you went through all the trouble to make a fake card before you ran across this girl. Okay. And Reggie also asked Candace to be a lookout for her. That's another thing. Like she said, I'm not trying to be your queen to your slim. You know what I mean? Like your first instinct, ladies, is mostly the best, right? It's most likely the best. And we see at the end of the episode, she is the lookout. I thought she really was gonna stick to her no. But like when she said to Reggie, I'm not scared, I thought she was just saying, I'm not scared, but I'm still not doing it. You know what I mean? But instead, she really wound up doing it for him. And then they had this freaking song playing at the end, and I was listening to the lyrics, and I'm like, what is this song saying? You know? I wish I would have wrote down some of them, but I was like, it seems like something bad is definitely gonna happen. When it came to the lyrics, I didn't like. I remember like the guy saying something about my homie deleted his girl and then he deleted himself, and like it was just some crazy stuff going on in that song. But she also texted Alicia at this time and she said, I'm scared, and Alicia's like, where are you? So I don't know if she ever tells Alicia where she is. The episode did go off, but before that, because I believe she's probably going to give Alicia the address wherever the heck she is. Now if Alicia shows up there and she sees that it's Reg, she most likely is gonna take Reg out, right? However, at the same time, we also saw Tiff's water break. Trig is going to be the one to get her to the hospital and all that. So, en route to wherever Reg and Candace are, she's probably going to get the call, Alicia. She's probably going to get the call from Tiff or Trig, sorry, saying that Tiff is going into labor, which is going to make her turn around and go to the hospital. And that's going to leave Candace probably in a tough situation. She might die, guys. I don't know. Anyway, guys, so Bakari tells Lene, I was going to talk about the comedy stuff, guys, but hold on. Bakari tells Lene the truth about who deleted Rob. Okay? He needs to take Lene's advice because Lene is like, you need to stay away from Nuck. You need to leave him alone. But you see that Bakari is loyal to Nuck, right, guys? He's freaking loyal to Nuck. He doesn't want to get him in trouble. He tells Lene that, listen, if Alicia finds out that Nuck killed Rob, she is going to delete him, right? And so she's like, you just need to get away from him. And now when he's talking to Nuck about it, oh, I feel like somebody gonna kill me. He said, who? And so now Bakari is talking to Nuck about it, saying, I think Alicia knows. You know what I mean? I threw up, my DNA was left at the site and all that. Then he say, man, you a BA ninja and all of this stuff like that. You ain't worth being my number two. I'm like, what? First of all, he didn't give you up. That's number one. Even after Alicia threatened to freaking delete him and bury him in her backyard, he did not give you up. And then you gonna disrespect him like this? For me, I feel like this response from Nuck is the perfect opportunity for Bakari to see that Nuck will turn on him in an instant, and he ain't nothing but a bully at the end of the day. Because one thing that kept Bakari following Nuck was that Nuck made it seem like he was different from Douda, right? But in this moment right here, when he's telling him he's not worth being a number two and all of that, I feel like this should open Bakari's eyes, especially when Bakari was like, I never asked to be a number two. And Nuck says, you ain't have no choice. So once again, another scratching my head moment, guys. You just told me that I'm not worth being a number two. And now when I tell you I never wanted it, you come back and tell me that I don't have a choice? Like, what? Which one is it? Because I don't have to be your number two. I never wanted it. And now you're telling me I'm not worth it. So can I go? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a bunch of freaking confusion, honey. Maurice Beeman, hi, he says, I was confused by this episode. Yes. A bunch of freaking confusion. Starring Toya, hey, babe. Yes, please. Don't forget to like and share the video, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. You know, like, it's just ridiculous. So for me, guys, I feel like this is Bakari's opportunity to be true to himself, right? And say, to hell with Nuck and everybody else, forget loyalty. I need to be loyal to myself, because one thing that Nuck is going to do, if Nuck feels threatened, or if Nuck feels disrespected, or if Nuck feels like I gotta go or I'm in the way, he is going to delete me. He's not going to think twice about it. And that's another thing about Nuck's character. I don't know if the writers are trying to make him complex, but they're not doing a very good job at it. For me, it feels like he's all over the freaking place, right? It's 1 minute you see him battling with his inner demons, and then there's another side of him that seems like he's trying to be good. You know, he wants to be a better person for his son and things like that. But then you got this other side to him where it's just like he acts like he doesn't care, and it's just like, what's going on here? So it's not making sense, guys. It's really not, because for me, I thought he really cared about Bakari. But for him to flip on Bakari in this scene like this, I was just like, yeah, Bakari, this is your shot. You need to make it happen and get the heck out of Dodge. You know, like we had that scene with, and here now we're gonna start talking about the comedy of the episode, guys, where Papa, Jake, and Bakari get out of the car and they meet up with Professor Gardner, and he is like in front of this billboard, right? It's like a recreation of Boys in the Hood. He's in front of this billboard, and it's like a big promotion for the Marines, to join the Marines or the Army and all that stuff. And I was just like, are they serious right now? Are they serious, right? So I was like, all right, I don't mind paying homage. I really don't. But it's the way that you do it. You know, there are so many ways that people could pay homage, and they have like subtleties to where it's kind of like Easter eggs, and we gotta really like we gotta really be paying attention, right? So to me, it was like a recreation of the scene. So that made it cringy. Number two, we had, let me look for the scene, y'all, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't freaking do it. I was just like, what are we doing? We had this scene right here. And people on YouTube, other content creators, they kept on saying that, you know, it was going to be something like this where either Bakari or Jake was going to get shot and all of that. And I'm over here looking at the scene, guys, and I'm just like, I know they not about to do this, okay? First of all, I done seen Boys in the Hood so many times to notice that Bakari is Ricky. Like, he's dressed just like Ricky. He got the same kind of shirt on, the same kind of top, the same kind of pants. You got Jake dressed in the jean shirt and them light colored pants, just like Trey, you know. And then you got freaking Bakari with the scratch offs and the bag, and I'm just like, no, I know daggone well that they are not recreating this scene and they are going to take Bakari out like this. I was laughing, y'all. I was laughing because I'm sorry, like, and honestly, I couldn't believe it. I was laughing so much that I was like, this is a dream. This has to be a dream, because they played it to a T for Boys in the Hood. They played it to a T. So I was like, this is not happening. All right. I was cracking the freak up. So, needless to say, I was like, all right, when freaking Bakari woke up, and the reason why he was dreaming this happened to him is because he was why he fell asleep to Boys in the Hood. So it was all up in his freaking nightmare. And he was already telling Nuck that he feel like somebody's gonna kill him. So, Alicia done put some freaking fear in this boy's heart and everything. So I totally understand it. But I'm gonna tell y'all this. If they would have stuck to this and they would have made Bakari die like this, I would have been cracking the freak up. I'm sorry, because it was cringy as heck. Okay? Cringy. Because if it wouldn't have been a dream, it just would have been so stupid to have this boy go out the same way. I mean, exact scene, everything, just dumb as heck. So anyway, that was what I was laughing about, y'all. Maybe Bakari was watching Boys in the Hood and fell. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He was watching Boys in the Hood and fell asleep. Exactly. Nuck needs to become worm food. Simple as that. There's no redemption for him whatsoever because he truly hasn't changed. He flip flops much for a real redemption arc to take. Oh, I'm sorry. I think you mean too much. He flip flops too much for a real redemption arc to take form. Right. And that's the reason why I'm over him, because I really was liking his character at one point, but it's too much, right? Like you said, it's too much flip-flopping going on, too much ups and downs. It's like, make up your freaking mind, bro. Like, the struggle is not real, like, you can really see when somebody is really trying to fight to be good. And if you claim that you're really trying to fight to be good for your son, you're losing, bro. You're losing. And it's at this point, it's corny. Emmett had me bawling with his moment with Jada. Yes, and we're definitely going to talk about that soon. Okay, so what else do I have? Oh, can I just say real quick that the sex scene between Zuri and, oh my gosh, Zuri and Damien, it was disgusting. Like, it was just too much for me. Like, certain stuff be looking a little too weird. I mean, not too weird, too real. Even though they had covers and everything, it was just like, ew. Like, he was digging it out, child. I was like, come on, that's a lie. Shh. There wasn't much noise going on, but when I'm saying shh, I'm like, bring that down. Like, I don't want to see all that. Like, it's nasty. Okay. And asking her to, go under the bed and all that was a reach. You know what I'm saying? Because we know last week's episode, Jada and Keisha talked about the whole meeting when she met her under the episode. I said under the episode. Oh my gosh. When she met her, when Keisha was under the bed and Jada offered her some breakfast, okay? And then we see the same thing happen. If Jada and Keisha probably did not have that conversation, it may not have, turned out the same, where she was offering Zuri food, you know what I'm saying? But they told my DNA is a mother lover, right? And I'm just like, come on now. Let me find out that Darnell did the same thing. He had Jada up under the bed somewhere. You know what I mean? They met at a very, very freaking young age. DeMarcus, he has been talking about what if Zuri is what's his name, sister? Angie's sister. Now they keep on bringing up Angie's sister. I wonder who the heck Angie's sister is, because at this point they're bringing her up too much. I think that she might be somebody that we already know, a character that we already know. They're saying that, she's some type of hot mess or whatever. Well, not they, Angie, oh, you should see my sister, like my sister's worse than me or whatever. You know what I mean? I think DeMarcus already said that maybe Roz could be her sister, you know, but we found out in this episode that Charles, Pastor Charles, used to deal with Angie's sister. So who the heck is Angie's sister? They done brought her up too many times, so clearly they are going to introduce her. And yeah, we need it to happen. Um and if she did turn out to be Roz, we know that if something happens to Angie because of Reggie, that definitely means he should go, because Roz already let it be known that she got shooters too. You know what I'm saying? That's why she got them. Thank you for the super chat, Demarcus. Miss K, how do you feel about living homegoings? It was cool to see Suede at Jada's living homegoing. Yeah, it was cool to see. It was cool to see. I think that it's good, and that's what we're gonna talk about next. We're gonna talk about Jada's living funeral, right? I think that's what the Wendy Raquel's character said it was. I think it's sad. I think it's tough for the family, but and thank you for the super chat again. But it's nice to see some to give the person their flowers while they are here. Um and I think that for Emmett, you know, it was tough for him to have to write this not a eulogy, but you know, just a nice speech about his mom, and he couldn't do it. He broke down, and that had me in tears, y'all. And at this point, I'm just tired of the shy. I told you guys already that I'm tired of it, but I'm tired of like these kind of moments. They're very sad, and I just feel like it's this show is just written to freaking make you sad. You know, if you're already down and out, don't watch this freaking show, man, because you just gonna keep feeling bad. You know? And here's the thing too. I mean, I really appreciated, like, he couldn't get up there and do it. He tried. I think it was good for his father to take over and read it for him, and for him to just, while his father read that, for him to just have a moment hugging his mom. I think it played out perfectly. He needs as much hugs as he can with that woman at this point. And I think that this guy, I know his name. I know his name, Jacob Lattimore. I think he's doing such a great job when it comes to like the emotions that he's showing. You know, like he does such a good job. He's a really good actor, you know. And Darnell, he's holding it down as best he could. Listen, Darnell tried, not Darnell, Emmett tried to, you already trying to talk to somebody, you know. Darnell said, "Shut up, boy, shut up." Right? Like, you don't know what the heck you talking about. I'm in a support group right now. Like, I'm trying to deal with this the best way I can. The freaking love of my life is dying. Okay. And I'm just talking to this lady who's a part of the support group, and she gave me this idea. Her husband is going through the same thing that your mom went through. Her husband went through the same thing that your mom went through, is going through, right? So Emmett had to be like, "I'm sorry," you know what I mean? And he's like, "It's just hard for me." Like Darnell was telling him, "It's hard for me," you know. So yeah, I just think that this is sad. Now I'm gonna say this about Jada, and look, I can't say much because this is her life and this is what she's going through, and there are people out there that, you know, are going through this for real, so I can't say much. But it does bother me a little bit that she refuses to get a second opinion. She refuses to fight at all. You know what I mean? Like, she just has accepted it, and she's like, "I don't need a second opinion." And I'm just like, why though? You know, like, you have a family. You and Darnell have not been back together that long. You know, it's like, I don't know. I don't Some of these things are hard to talk about because it's like you you don't want to say too much because you're not in that person's shoes, you know? You're just not. So it makes it tough to really say anything, you know, but it's like everyone else just has to accept it because she's accepted it, and that's that. She doesn't want to fight anymore. She doesn't want to go down this rabbit hole. She don't want to do a vegan diet. She doesn't want to do anything. She's just accepting it. You know, she's checked out. right? But at the end, she does ask, and this is not a very good picture, but she does ask Emmett to promise her to leave the city because it's not safe for you. This is my last, request. I want you to promise me that you are going to leave the city, you and Keisha and the kids. I want y'all to live. I want y'all to survive. So he's like, the city is all I know. And she's like, I need you to promise me, So I guess that's probably what's going to go on. We did see a lot of people leaving the Chi in this season. So let's see what happens. I don't freaking know, y'all. Stephen Harris says Emmett and Keisha might get a spinoff. I pray not. I pray not. But I think that's one of the problems, that the Chi continues to have too many characters. Yeah, too many characters, and it's like sometimes they don't know what the heck to do. But deleting or getting rid of like somebody like Jada, that's not how you do it. Because some of these new people are not that interesting. And why can't someone like Jada and Darnell have a happy ending? I don't understand that. I don't get it. All right. So before I get out of here, there was something that I wanted to talk about, which was this. I thought this was cute. Okay, sometimes you get your little cute moments. We're gonna see how this ends. Um, Blaze says, I had a friend that passed from cancer some years back, like Jada. She beat it the first time, but ended up getting a more aggressive form of it the second time. She also decided not to fight it. Yeah. And I'm very sorry about that, which is the reason why I don't want to say too much. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, I want to be sensitive to the person going through it. Suffering is not fun, and that's the reason why it's called suffering. When you suffer, you don't want to live because you want the suffering to end. And suffering doesn't even have to be about sickness. Sometimes you could just be suffering in depression. You could be suffering from anxiety. Like, I deal with my little bouts of mental health and things like that, and just from that, sometimes you just be like, man, I don't even know how much I could take of this. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I really am trying to be very careful about what I'm saying, because even though this is a show, but in real life people go through stuff like this, and some people just, they don't want to fight anymore. And I think it's sad for the people that are left behind, but also at least you get to have some kind of closure and a way to try to prepare. You know what I mean? Like the lady said, the one that what's his name, Darnell, at in the support group, she was like, the one thing that she wished that she would have done when her husband was still here was love on him more. You know what I mean? And Darnell was making a great point too. Is like, how do you do that without getting depressed or feeling sad or feeling down? You know what I mean? Like, you it's such a tough space for the family members to be in, because it's like, I want to cherish all these moments with this person, but they're gonna go. Like, how do you, like Emmett, how how can he be happy? There's nothing to be happy about. He's trying his best to still spend as much time with his mom as possible, but it has to be freaking sad. It's such a tough place to be. Oh my gosh. I can't even freaking imagine. I can't even imagine, man. It's really sad. But so again, Blaze, thank you for sharing that. And I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. And B says sorry as well. Stephen Harris says, we don't need more characters leaving because I heard Luke James leaving after he might be exit. Okay, listen. It's going to take, I did say that I was going to stay and ride this out until it's done. But I'm not gonna make any promises, because if it falls off so much to where I'm not even interested anymore, I'm not watching it. I mean, look at BMF. Like, I watched one episode, and after that episode, I was not touched. I was like, I could do without following up. I just can. So if The Shy gets like that to where it's just like, yeah, I don't really care no more about it. It could get like that, y'all. It really can. So, but this scene right here, I thought this was cute because I like her attitude. She's like, she appreciated him taking her to this spot, Smokies. It's like his favorite spot. And she's like, I don't really care about having you having a whole bunch of money and all of that, and she's like, I sell candles because I love to do that. I make candles because I love it. It doesn't make me a lot of money, but it makes me happy. And I'm telling you, that's the place that I want to be. I want to be where I'm doing something that makes me freaking happy, right? And it not just pays the bills. I want to get by, and I don't want it to freaking just get me by. But I like her philosophy. I love the way she's thinking, right? And he over there talking about something. Oh, so are you saying we could be broke together? No. She said, we can be happy together, not broke. Okay? Shoot. She said the candles they making her a whole lot of money. All right. She didn't say she broke now. So go on and get that money. And my thing is, ain't you making money with what's her face? But she wait, did he quit, guys? Please remind me. It should be too much going on. Did Shad quit? Because I thought he was still working for her. He just not with her anymore. Maybe he quit. Did he walk out on her? I think he did quit. Somebody remind me. Demarcus, one of y'all, please remind me if he quit. I'm about to end this, guys. I said all I had to say. We're going to see what the heck is going on in the next episode, which comes Thursday night or Friday midnight. Like, oh, B said, yeah, he walked out. Okay, so he's broke again. Like, this guy, can you keep a freaking job, man? I mean, are you honest with her about that? I do want his love life to work out because, first of all, forget about Shad. I love me some Jason Weaver. Okay, so I'm just gonna I need it to work. I need it to work. All right, here we go. Blaze is exactly Miss K. Suffering and pain comes in different ways, and not everyone navigates in the same way. All the more reason to acknowledge and appreciate the time we do get. Yes, indeed. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. So, Demarcus says, Miss K, how close are you to graduating? I wish I knew. I wish I knew. Rashad said he didn't quit. I'm sorry, Rashad said. Demarcus said that Shad didn't quit. He did walk out, but he didn't quit, so he's still working for her. Okay. Listen, if he's working for her, she should be paying rather well, right? Nobody that works for Alicia should be broke. That's what I'm thinking, right? If he did quit, he is broke. He needs to get another freaking job, okay? So, right. Yeah, but he ain't broke. If he's still working for her. So what are you talking about, Shad? What are you talking about? But anyway, a nice, date for him. I think this is really cute. Something refreshing. Makes me want to get a nice fresh drink with some type of mint leaf in it or something. Like it's giving I want to quench my thirst. Listen, it's refreshing, but at the same time, I'm like mad thirsty right now for real. So me using the word refreshing, it just makes me want to go get a drink that has like watermelon and mint in it or something like that. Have you ever had a drink like that before? Ooh, baby, it tastes so good. Anyway, guys, so here is the thing. I'm about to be done. Rashad just ended a relationship with Alicia. Okay, good. All right, I'm about to be done, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Um, sounds like Miss K should have a celebration stream of yeah. Listen, I am okay. Like the way I'm suffering, and I'm not using that term lightly, by the way. I am suffering when it comes to school. I would never ever tell somebody to go for their doctorate, by the way. Like I'm being mishandled. I'm telling you, it's a freaking roller coaster. When I get done, I'm going to have to share what I went through because it is I want to use the word devastating. I want to use the word um heart-wrenching. Like I want to use all of these words that describe the mental angst that I've been going through. It's a freaking lot, you know? So without getting personal, I want to just keep it to the live, which is the shy. But man, when I'm done, I have to tell y'all my story. Thank you guys so much for all the love. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Demarcus. Thank you, LSW. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, guys. I really, really appreciate you. Um, and listen, if I'm not tired, I will try. I will try to get back on Friday to do a live. I promise. Listen, I'm going to try, right? Because sometimes I be getting mad sleepy. So I'm going to try, okay? Anyway, thank you guys again. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Oh, if you've been watching me react to The Last of Us, I'm about to watch episode number 9, and I started a Patreon, so I'm adding those videos on Patreon and all that. And I'm gonna be working on posting episode number 5 very soon. Me and my youngest son, we reacted to, what is that movie? Higher Learning. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, guys. Bring back Madam Moonlight. Don't worry, she gonna be making some appearances. Okay. I've been thinking about her. She been thinking about me. So we've been thinking about each other. So she about to come soon. Okay, don't worry. Later, guys.